Hi, I'm Mark Wilson, the Engineering Heretic, and we're back on our D-bit grinder, and today I would like to show how to grind a ball nose D-bit on this particular machine. We'll make it a full round ball nose. You can change the size. Of course, I could grind that down to another size and make it a ball nose like for a 4, but this is quarter tool still, so we're going to make effectively a 1/8 radius on this one here. Now, why would you want a ball nose when you can buy ball nose tools, ball nose end mills and things like that off the shelf? And that's a good question. Well, one of the reasons why is mostly for the pantograph industry. Often we want a ball nose tool at a specific size, and we want to run it at high speed and things like that. And these particular D-bits suit themselves for pantographs. They're a single cutting edge. They work a lot better than like an end mill or a thing which have multiple edges. And when you're pushing a tool by hand, you want only one cutting edge and high speeds. But there's also a few other reasons why you want to make a ball nose. First of all, you may not have the cutter you want, and you want to cut a groove in something, particularly for an injection mold, for a runner system, at a specific diameter. So you may have a runner system, they stipulate they want 5.5mm round runner system, so you'll need to have a 5.5mm ball nose. Of course, you probably have one. You may be able to get one custom made, but traditionally in the tool making industry, a tool maker in plastics would just make a ball nose, not very deep, and it's a one-shot sort of thing, and you can vary the sizes. And sometimes we even had to change the size of the runner as we progress through the mold to different sizes to up the velocity of the plastic for a thing called shear, where you reduce deliberately down the runner size to increase the velocity, reheat the plastic on the way through, because as soon as you restrict down, it warms up a little bit more as it's cooling down in the runner system. So we would have a system called shear where you would restrict it down very quickly, and we needed to get multiple sizes over lengths and things like that. When they branched off, they had to go smaller. So there is a need for a ball nose tool even today, something you can make up quickly. So let's make, first of all, we're going to make the traditional D shape here, and we're going to give this, normally you have to give a fair bit of clearance on here. I'm going to give this about 25 degrees clearance on this particular tool. And of course we're going to grind a radius as well. But the first thing I need to do is make a classic D-bit. I'm going to split this tool in half. I've got this set here for 180 degrees, and this machine here works like this. This is just my method of doing it. We'll start the machine up, and we need to split this in half. I want a rough dress here. I don't want this to be too smooth and make this too hot. So I'll just come over there and give that a fairly rough dress. And now we're going to come over here and we're going to split this in half. We'll set our stop around about there somewhere, and off we go. We need to split this in half, and as I said before in previous videos, you come over about 0.1 per time and plunge it in. You don't want to come over the full amount. Of course, we're looking for 3.1, which is the old scale, 125 thou an eighth of an inch. We're getting a little bit warm, so we'll just take a bit of a breather. We'll dress our wheel. Take a measure. About a mil to go. one to go. Now we need to smooth this wheel off a little bit. So we're going to smooth this wheel off a little bit and make it a lot smoother. And we'll take off that last little bit, the last 0.1. It should be right there. Now what we want to do is put on the relief angle on this, and I want 25 degrees relief angle as this cutter rotates around. Now, first of all, I need to put this around to horizontal and then swing my or more or less horizontal, and swing this little lock over here to that halfway mark there, and that will allow my cutter to rotate around 180 degrees on a stop. Now the relief is set by this one here, and we're going to make this 25 degrees. At 25 degrees, and that's my relief for this one here. And we're going to start grinding this edge here and getting that correct. So because we've rotated this around, I need to reposition my head because now I'm too far over from the wheel. Now lock this one up here, unlock the bottom one, and slide this over until I'm around about the right spot. That's too close there. Now that should, I'll have to reset my stop because I've moved it. And now what I'm going to do is put on the relief angle, this angle here, all the way around, make that radial around there. I'm going to use the rotation of the head to do that. I've run out of room on my micrometer thing here, so I'm just going to come over a little bit more. I'll have to reposition. This happens a lot with these particular grinders there. They only have about 15-20 mil travel anyway. So lock this one up, unlock this one again, move this over a bit more, give yourself a little bit more room here, and then redo that. Here we go again. Reset my stop. Here we go. Now, of course, I can come in here, and what I want to do is basically keep grinding until I just remove that little flat thing where it's radial there. I want to just get rid of that. So we'll come over a fraction more, rotate that around. Not quite gone yet. Now we have the classic ball nose, the classic D cutter. Now I want to make this a ball nose. Now on this section here, there's a little slide that runs in that direction. I've got that set on 0 at the moment, so the center line of, this will swing around on that little, on this head here, and it will swing from the very center of this tool there. That will make a ball nose. So at the moment I've got the graduation set for 0. We'll talk about making a radius cutter down the track. Now what I need to do is I can swing this over in. I'm way too far over with this particular head here. It's going to wipe out the tool. So But there's a bit of a method for getting this correct. So what you do, this is my method anyway, I watch pantograph operators do this many times, is to I've taken my tool away, okay, and it's away and I want to be around about a quarter of a millimetre away from cutting, right? So now I'm going to swing this particular tool around here like that, and I need to slide this head back to line this up with the centre here. So there's a little lock on that one there. You can undo this, and now you can slide this back. Now there's a little adjuster screw here. There's a little, have to sort of change this around a little bit. Hang on. Slide that back a little bit more. And I've actually watched these pantograph operators do this. They even just slide this thing up by hand. This will slide up. And what we want to do is just keep going, sliding my head up here. So I can lock this up here and move that up there. And I can slide this up even more. I don't know if this is working. Hang on, lock going. There we go. I want to just clean up this front face. That's pretty much cleaned up there like that. I'm now going to lock this one. So now I have that front edge set. And remember, I left this away by about 2/5 of a millimetre. So what I can do now is I've still got a little bit to come off here. I'm going to rotate this around here and grind this radius. Now, if you're grinding too much, it's a big heavy, you can actually come around and make them facet that like that. So that will swing around and grinding like that. But because I've got a little bit to go here, I can now advance my tool over and keep taking successive cuts. And as soon as I make contact with the existing flat that I've already done, there, I've just made contact there. Swing that around here. And then I can rotate this around here like that and do my relief at the back. And I can also just put the clearance around underneath that radius as well. So you just come backwards and forwards here, working your way around. And there I have a ball nose cutter. Let's have a look at that. But it's still a little bit rough. There's still a couple of things we can do, and this is a standard procedure when you grind something like this. We're going to take the tool out here, and what I want to do is remove the back half of this around here. So all you're going to do with the back of the wheel, the side of the wheel there, we just want to grind away the other half of this tool that's just going to be in the way, right up until the center point there. Okay, so now we've got rid of that. We don't really need that bit there. And also, it's customary to grind a little bit of the relief angle just by hand here as that travels around there. That's the standard way we normally set up these tools, just like that. So there I have a ball nose cutter that has it's a full ball nose cutter on a quarter, so that'll be 1/8, a 3.1 millimetre radius. And that is how you make a ball nose cutter on a D-bit grinder. And I'm Mark Wilson, and thanks for watching.